Preschool number lessons. I'm going to share with you each of my hands-on activities that I use when I teach my number of the day. So as I've shared with you before, in the month of January, we're working a lot on numbers. For each of our whole group lessons, I'm teaching a new number. I'm also going to share with you how numbers are incorporated throughout my entire room in centers and all of the different areas. When I teach the number, I'm going to show them the number card. We're going to talk again about how numbers are for counting and how letters are for reading. We're going to show them how the number is written. Now we use handwriting without tears, so all capital letters and numbers are made with big lines, little lines, big curves, and little curves. Last week we learned numbers 1 and 2, so this week we're learning the number 3 next, which is 2 little curves. So I'm going to start each number lesson with those basics, then we're going to do a hands-on activity. For the number 1, each child sat at the table and circled all of the number 1s on their paper. For the number 2, each student came to the table and traced the number 2 5 times. For the number 3, it's very tricky to write, so some students will be tracing the number 3 and some students will be writing it on their own. And I know which students are able to do each of those. So on my smart board, they're going to come up and just use their finger and they're going to trace little curve, or they're going to write it on their own. Little curve, little curve. For the number 4, we're using another one of our hunt and finds, but this time we're doing it on the smart board. So each student will come up and find a number 4 to circle. For the number 5, we're doing some number review along with learning the number 5. So students will be tracing each number with a Q-tip and paint. So we've already learned all of these numbers, so we're going to do 1, 2 is a big curve and a little line. Number 3 is a little curve, Number 4 is little line, frog jump to the top, big line. Number 5 is little line, little curve, and then go back and put on his hat with another little line. Then we also are going to count here, 1, 1, 2. Continue with reviewing with the number 5. We're going to have a snowball fight. Everybody's going to get a piece of paper. They're going to crumple it up and throw it. Then they're going to go find a random paper around the room, open it up. They need to count how many dots are on their paper. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. There'll be numbers 1 through 5 throughout the room, and they have to go match it to the number. So they're doing one-to-one counting and number recognition. Okay, that ended up being really long. Make sure you follow for parts 2 and 3. I'll share numbers 6 through 10 with our hands-on activity, and then I'll share all of the numbers throughout my classroom.